So I want to tell you about a couple of students from the Ringling College of Art. Their names are Beth David and Esteban Bravo, and they completed a project as part of their studies. And their project entailed them creating a 4-minute short film featuring a kid that had a crush on another kid. But, trigger warning, the kid in this film was gay. Now, the question is, why exactly do we care about this harmless short film? Well, this film went viral, and it caused conservatives to lose their fucking shit. And when I say they lost their shit, they lost it. Now, the portion of conservatives I'm referring to, they're not libertarians. They are who I like to call right-wing SJWs, or social injustice warriors, because even though they like to lambast left-wingers, you know, SJWs on college campuses, like we all do, for getting triggered too easily, they do the same thing. They get just as easily offended, but perhaps by dumber things. I mean, they're offended by a cartoon. So now, of course, there is a plethora of examples that you could find on the internet of butthurt that was caused by this particular film. But we're going to focus on Huffington Post, because you would think that, you know, with a liberal publication like Huffington Post, you wouldn't see too much pushback from their readership, but that's not really the case. So in a Facebook post, they shared one of the articles that was written about their short film titled, "In a Heartbeat is the Gay Animated Love Story We've Been Waiting For." But apparently, their viewers weren't too excited about it. One of the top comments read, "I just think it's funny how the gay community will talk about dealing with bullying and name-calling because of their sexuality, but as soon as someone disagrees with them, they start bashing and name-calling. Makes sense." Now, of course, you couldn't really find much name-calling in here because all of the conservative anti-gay comments were upvoted to the top, but really what they're talking about here, you know, the bullying on behalf of LGBT people, comes from us calling them bigots when they make bigoted statements. So that's bullying to them. Calling them an asshole when they're being an asshole is bullying. Makes sense. Now, other comments iterated the same sentiment. "No, sicken me to my stomach, more like it. Just more propaganda being used to recruit kids into choosing the gay lifestyle. Knowing your community can only grow through recruitment, the LGBT community does all it can to influence the minds of children. Sick, perverse, godless scum. Stop brainwashing kids' minds, sick bastards." Ew, come on, why are kids gotta be exposed to this? I'm not against people being gay, but animation is clearly a ploy towards kids. I mean, seriously, we wonder why kids dress and behave the way most kids do now. People need to be more responsible with what they post. Trying to normalize homosexuality to children? Despicable! Let them be kids unburdened by lust and sin. What the fuck? Why animated? Brainwashing kids. It's gay propaganda. Let kids grow up to make up their own mind. Brainwashing at a young age. Wow, the intolerant sodomites and liberals are seriously getting unhinged when you go against their perverse agenda. Insist it's a birth defect, yet you cannot provide a shred of scientific evidence of that. They need Jesus. What an emotionally sick story. The mentally deranged are over the limit of my tolerance. Always gotta make everything gay. Pedophile movie. Hey, old school Democrats, this is what your party has been turned into, a movement that pushes the gay agenda on our children. Are you proud of that? Cartoons about homosexuality? Let it sink in. Your vote promotes this. But to be fair, they weren't all bad, and one of the comments managed to muster quite a bit of upvotes on this thread, if you will, that basically stated everything I was thinking. So this poster said, "I, along with many other gays my age, had nothing but 120-minute straight animated films available to us as children, Aladdin, Little Mermaid, and I still grew up to be lesbian as fuck. I highly doubt a 4-minute animated film will turn all your children homo. That's not what it's about." Yeah, and really that's exactly it. If you really could recruit someone into a certain type of lifestyle, then I'm pretty sure I would have turned out to be straight, because I had straight parents. I also had 4 older siblings, 2 brothers and 2 sisters, all of which thoroughly heterosexual, and yet me, for some reason, even though I was brainwashed into the straight lifestyle, I turned out to be as queer as a $3 bill. Why is that the case? It's almost as if we don't choose what we what we turn into when we're older. We're born a certain way, and that's the way it is. And furthermore, even if we could choose, what's the big deal? Who cares? Get over it. So I mean, this is just one of many examples that show, even though we do have a problem on the left with SJWs trying to stifle free speech on college campuses because they get triggered too easily by stupid benign things, right-wingers are just as easily triggered by perhaps even dumber things. A gay cartoon caused them to have a complete meltdown, and we're supposed to take them seriously? We're supposed to take them serious as actors who actually care about bettering the country? If you truly are politically minded, if you care about any types of policies, then why don't you move on from these social issues, identity politics, and focus on the policy issues that really do affect your life? I mean, why are you harping on something that society clearly has moved on from? You know, certainly with respect to the US. Why? Why dwell on this? It's so stupid. Nobody cares. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're straight. I don't care if you tattoo all of your skin green and choose to live as a frog person. I don't give a fuck. What I care about is the policy ideals that I want implemented into law. And if you're a conservative, why isn't it the same thing just with respect to opposite policies? Why are you choosing to dwell on dumb shit? And really, yes, again, I want to restate here that left-wing SJWs on college campuses, they're a problem. But the difference is that they're mocked by the left and the right, you know? They're mocked by everyone, and they have no institutional power. Whereas right-wing SJWs, they have all the power. They're in control of all branches of government right now. So it seems like for every left-wing SJW that is triggered easily and calling for safe spaces on college campuses, there's about 10 more right-wing SJWs that are just as easily triggered by something even dumber. So here's something that I want to propose to those of you, against SJWs on the left and the right. How about this? How about we all come together and agree to stop losing our minds over the most dumb, benign, banal, nonsensical shit? How about that? How about we focus on things that really matter? Because getting outraged over a gay cartoon, I mean, how does that serve you? Your kids aren't going to be recruited into any type of lifestyle. As a gay person, I don't give a shit if your kids are gay. Just raise them to not be an asshole. That's all I care about. So, this made me laugh quite a bit. But, at the same time, even though it's humorous, it's still pretty sad because you think that we made a lot of progress, but really there's still a lot of people that are holding the country back, being triggered by a cartoon. Again, I mean, of all the things to worry about, if a cartoon is high on your list of priorities, then you've got issues.
Support this podcast by joining the independent progressive media revolution today at humanistreport.com.